Long before Eve, there was actually another woman. Her name is rarely spoken about, unless it's in fear, in anger, or in quiet respect. She wasn't made from Adam's rib. She was created from the same soil. Equal in form, equal in spirit. And when Adam demanded submission, she said no. She didn't fall from grace. She walked away from it. Lilith was the first woman to choose herself, and for that, she was erased, scrubbed from scripture, buried in folklore, redefined as a demon. But her story didn't end at the gates of Eden. It spread like wind through the deserts and whispered through temple walls. Some call her seductress, others destroyer. But the truth is far more dangerous. Lilith is freedom, raw, untamed, and wild. Before Lilith had a name, she had a presence. She appears not first in the Bible, but in the windswept myths of Mesopotamia, known as Litu. She was known as Litu in Sumerian and Akkadian texts. She was a night spirit, untamed, independent, and feared. A creature of the wind, shadow, and wild hunger. She wasn't alone though. The ancient world was filled with spirits like her, all feminine forces of disorder and danger. But Lilith stood out, not simply as a threat, but as an echo of something ancient, something primal. She was never meant to be tame, with owl wings, taloned feet, and eyes like firelight. She roamed the thresholds of civilization, slipping through open windows and wandering between dreams. She brought fever, desire, nightmares, and in doing so, this reminded people of what they tried to forget. The world isn't just order, it's also chaos. One of Lilith's earliest literary appearances is in the myth of Inanna and the Hulupu tree. Inanna, queen of heaven, plants a sacred tree in her garden, hoping to shape it to form a throne and marriage bed. But the tree grows wild, and within it nest three beings: a serpent at the roots, a bird in the branches, and at its base, Lilith. The goddess calls for help. Gilgamesh answers. He cuts down the tree. The serpent flees, and the bird flies away. And Lilith, she vanishes into the wilderness. But this really isn't just a fairy tale of pests in a tree. It's a symbolic purge. The tree represents fertility, sexuality, and the feminine body. Lilith is its inhabitant, and when Gilgamesh drives her out, he isn't just cleaning a garden, he's initiating patriarchy, taming the wild for its domestic use. And Lilith, true to her nature, refuses to be tamed. She flees, not in shame, but in defiance. And this, in many ways, was her first exile. Centuries later, Lilith's myth resurrected in Jewish folklore, most famously in the alphabet of Ben Sira. It's here that we get the secret story of Adam's first wife. Before Eve, God created Adam and Lilith together from the same soil. They were equals. No rib, no hierarchy, but their harmony crumbled when Adam demanded dominance. The clash came to a head in the bedroom. Adam insisted that Lilith should lie beneath him, and she refused. We are made from the same earth, she argued. We are equal. But equality wasn't welcome in paradise. So she left, but not quietly at all. She spoke the forbidden name of God, the sacred syllables no human should utter, and with it took flight, wings spread wide, gone from Eden forever. Speaking the secret name isn't just an act of rebellion. It's an invocation of self-sovereignty, a woman claiming divine authority for herself. But no one leaves the garden without consequences. God sent angels to retrieve her. They found her at the Red Sea, dwelling with demons, birthing strange offspring. They ordered Lilith to return, and she refused. As punishment, they cursed her and said that every day 100 of her children would die. In grief and fury, Lilith retaliated. If her children would be taken, she would take others. Lilith then became the child stealer, the bringer of miscarriage, the stealer of dreams. To defend themselves, parents created charms and amulets etched with angelic names. Bowls buried beneath homes, talismans hung above cradles, all to keep her away. But these rituals were never just about Lilith. They were about the terror of the unknown, the fear of sexuality, the horror of death. Lilith became the scapegoat for the pain no one could explain. Lilith was now the Dark Mother, the Shadow Woman, the Night Hag. She was everything society feared in women: rage, eroticism, autonomy. In a world ruled by male gods and fathers, a woman who said no, who walked away, had to be dangerous. So they made her a monster. But the more they tried to demonise her, the more powerful she became. Even in demonology, she was never powerless. She was a queen of succubi, of the night spirits, of the forces that move in silence and shadow. And the symbols that followed her, the owl, the snake, the moon, were never just frightening. They were sacred. Owls, creatures of the night, were wisdom keepers. Snakes shed their skins. This symbolised rebirth. And the crescent moon, a mark of hidden cycles, of feminine time. Lilith didn't just symbolise fear. She symbolised truth that couldn't be controlled. Lilith didn't fade into folklore. She evolved. In Jewish mysticism, she was folded into Kabbalistic structure of the universe, not erased, but repositioned. In the Kilvoth, the shadow of the tree of life, Lilith reigns alongside Samuel, the angel of poison and seduction, and together they represent the shadow twin of divinity, a necessary darkness to the balance of light. Some saw her as the inverse of Shekinah, God's feminine presence. One uplifts, the other disrupts, but both are divine. This wasn't satanic, it was systemic. In Kabbalah, every force, even destructive ones, has a place. Lilith became not just the rebel, but the regulator of imbalance, the queen of the shadows that reveal the light. Centuries later, as women began reclaiming autonomy, Lilith stirred again. Feminists saw in her a sister, not a succubus, but a survivor. She refused the script. She challenged the system. She paid the price. In modern witchcraft and spiritual practices, Lilith is invoked for power, protection, and shadow work. Her archetype helps people confront the parts of themselves they've suppressed, such as rage, shame, desire. She isn't soft, not gentle. She doesn't hold your hand. She holds up a mirror. And in that mirror, you see the parts of you that have been hidden, shamed, or silenced. Working with Lilith is not absolute safety. It's about truth. Build her an altar, they say. Light a candle. Whisper your secrets into the flame. She hears them. She remembers. But the real temple of Lilith, it's inside. She lives in the voice that says no, when others expect a yes. In the hunger that won't be denied. In the fire that refuses to be dimmed. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the hidden self. Lilith is a guide into that shadow, not to destroy it, but to integrate it. She holds that sacred rage, the unspoken grief, the denied pleasure. To embrace her is to stop apologising, to say, I am whole even in my chaos, even in my contradictions, even in my darkest of desires. Lilith doesn't want devotion, she wants honesty. Lilith didn't eat the fruit. She didn't whisper to Eve. She didn't lie or deceive. She simply left. She looked at the rules of Eden, the quiet obedience, the gilded submission, and said, absolutely no. It's a no from me. For that, she was demonized, but not destroyed, because she lingers in shadows, in stories, in every moment someone dares to choose themselves. And today, more than ever, her question still stands. If you are not free, then why stay? She is every part of us that was told to be quiet and chose not to be. And maybe that's why her story still matters, because it asks us one haunting, liberating question. What would you risk to stay true to yourself? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more forgotten stories, hidden myths, and legends reawakened.